Cuts is awesome. Puzzle Mystery Quilt is basically all your pieces are cut out. You don't have to worry about any type of measuring and cutting. You just get your packages and you sew.
One of my absolute favorite products is the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, and I love that it's all pre-cut. All I have to do is open up my clue each month, unpack the pre-cut fabrics, and about 45 minutes to an hour later, I have a beautiful clue.
Let me tell you what I love about Cotton Cuts and the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. They are like, they will lead you right to the water. They can't make you drink, but they can lead you right to the water. So they make it so easy for you to finish a quilt.
It's just so fun and so important to me to do something every day that brings you joy. Even if it's just for an hour a day, sit down and do it, something for yourself.
Now, when I saw the Cotton Cuts, I thought, it's cut for you. And I loved it. I loved it that, putting the pieces together because it was manageable. It was so easy to do. So then I started sharing it on my YouTube channel because I was like, well, if I can do this, anybody can do this.
I love doing batiks for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. Honestly, I think it's the best thing because they press nicely, they're crisp, they feel good, there's no wrong side, you don't have to stress about it, and I'm just a really big fan of batiks.
But the Puzzle Mystery Quilts make it so easy. First of all your fabrics are die cut and pre-cut for you. You really don't need to know much about quilting to be successful because Cotton Cuts breaks it down for you. They tell you which step to do first, second, how to join the pieces together, and those little arrows even show you in which direction to press your seams.
It's a sweet little slice of my sewing time where I don't have to worry and I don't have to, like, this sounds crazy, but I don't fully have to use my brain, right? Like I literally am pulling it. The most brain activity that I am using at that point is making sure that I'm matching and I'm using my code and like, this is fabric A, this is fabric B, this is fabric C. That's it. Once that's all organized and laid out and I'm following the clues, I am just mindlessly sewing at that point. And while I'm doing that, I'm accomplishing something that I haven't accomplished in any other block of the month program, right?
You will get addicted to them. I can't stop doing the Puzzle Mystery Quilts. They are just so much fun. Even if I wasn't an ambassador, I would be jumping in and working on these because they're so easy. You just have to spend a little bit of time. The no cutting part, I know I think every single ambassador in the preview, I think somebody talked about not cutting. Every single ambassador talks about the not cutting part, but it is so much nicer to just sit and sew.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, Becca.
We're sitting in our podcast chairs about ready to record episode 3 for the Sew Off Kilter podcast. If you guys don't know what that is, check it out, please. We'd love to see you over there.
Shameless plug, by the way.
Shameless plug. But also proud.
Yeah.
Paula reached out to me and asked me if we would just record a little video segment about the Tree of Life because today is their wrap up and they're showing all the different things, and spoiler alert, you're probably going to be on this very premiere somewhere live.
It's weird because I'm like, am I coming before this, after this? How is this going to work? Ooh, you get to see me twice today.
Don't fall.
Okay.
What she asked us to talk about, since I can't be live,
right,
she wanted us to record a segment that talked about our experience because for Tree of Life, I picked your colorway.
Yep.
You picked mine.
Yep.
So let's just talk about that really quick and just kind of pull that full circle. So we'll start with you.
Yep.
For your gorgeous quilt, I chose Radiance, which is the Deco Glow fabric, Deco Glow 2, I think, by Juicy Juice.
Yep.
How'd you think? What'd you think?
So as I was working on the clues, it didn't feel great. Like it didn't feel great putting them together. And it felt very orange and yellow heavy. And I was nervous about it. But I pieced it all together, and you're probably going to hear this again since I'm on here twice today, but I pieced it together and started looking at it, and I'm like, okay, not my favorite, but good. I love Juicy Juice fabric anyways, so I'm going to love it no matter what. But putting on that extra border kit, chef's kiss. It toned it down. It made it awesome. So I'm a lot happier with that extra border kit that I put onto it. I would have loved to main my own borders, but move. Also.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that you didn't do something extra in the second border because you're kind of known for that.
Yep.
But I will say that extra border not only does it make the quilt bigger and more functional, but it really just added
It did.
a completely different look to the quilt.
Yeah.
And I like it better with
Yeah.
that second border. So if
Definitely.
you guys are ever on the fence about whether or not to purchase the additional borders in a puzzle mystery quilt, here's a shameless plug for
It's
it.
kind of amazing.
Yeah, it does.
They coordinate the colors really, really well. Speaking of colors,
I
chose your colorway.
You did.
And I am blanking on the name at this very second.
Yeah, me
but
too. But it's way over there.
It's over
in one
there.
of them,
Anyways,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. But the colors, I know that as you started putting it together, you weren't a fan of them and how they were
when I opened the first clue and looked at it, my face was this. Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, month 9, all 9 of my months are put together. The quilt top is not.
Yeah.
I'm saving putting some of those together so that I can join in with the Cotton Cuts Zoom that's going to be on the Saturday tomorrow. Right? We're not recording this on Friday, so I want to pop into the Zoom for a little bit and work on it. So I'm going to probably work on it this weekend.
Yep.
I don't know what the quilt's going to look like. I obviously know what the layout looks like because I've seen yours.
Right.
However, I'm still not loving the fabric after 9 clues. And I'm going to tell you, it was a labor of love to put those clues together, not liking the fabric.
Sure.
It's not that the fabric's ugly. It's just not my cup of tea.
Right. Which I tried to stretch you out of your comfort zone by picking the colorway that I did for you. I was hoping that she would like it. I'm still a little nervous. But it seems like with the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilts, I've seen people in the Facebook group who they don't like the fabrics at month 1 through 9, and then suddenly clue 10, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
I've seen people post the photos of colorways that I never would have chosen, and I'm like, I should have done that colorway. So I'm kind of hoping that that's where this one's going to be. And you know what? Even if it isn't, I still enjoy the pre-cut block of the month experience, and it's going to be a beautiful quilt for somebody that I can donate or give away if it's not my cup of tea, but it will get finished, and I'm probably going to work on it this weekend. So, all right, so let's just rate this whole thing on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I want to control my own destiny, and 10 out of 10 I would highly recommend, because I know there's some folks out there doing this again. Would you ever let somebody else pick your colorway?
I may have already volunteered, and they may be talking about this. Again, we're recording this beforehand, so I don't know, but they may be talking about on the live stream that I have decided to let everybody choose my colorway. I know it's scary, it's nerve-wracking, but I am going to take that leap of faith and let everybody choose my colorway this next time. And I won't know what it is until it shows up and I open the package. So,
well, I'm going to tell you, be careful.
Yeah.
Because when we did this, I was pulsing the community like, what color do you think I should pick for him? Knowing all along what I was going to pick. But I was like, what color do you think I should pick from him? And the amount of people that replied reds and browns for you.
It was shocking. It was shocking.
So good luck. Maybe you will be in this seat on my side of it in 10 months.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Anyway, I hope you guys had a blast putting together a Tree of Life. I'm sorry that I can't be there with you guys live, but work. But I will see you guys on the Zoom. And Ian, you'll be there live showing off your quilt.
I will be.
Say hi to future Ian.
Hi, future Ian.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday. This is now live, guys. Oh my gosh. It was so fantastic to see all of my favorite people just now for the past 10 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed all of those. I love Becca. I love Ian. We're going to get to chat with almost everyone that had a snippet there, and they are so awesome and fantastic. Today's the day. Today we get to see they're kind of hanging out over here, so you might be able to kind of squint and see your colorway, but we get to see all the fantastic Tree of Life Puzzle Mystery Quilts. These have been a project 10 months in the making. You guys, we started this in February. That seems like so long ago, and at the same time, just yesterday. And so a couple of housekeeping items before we jump into the good stuff. So we are in our new space. Paula has done a fantastic job getting this show ready for our new space. As you guys know, we are close to an airport. So we're going to hear airplanes. They're going to be zooming by the whole show. That's absolutely A-okay. The second bit is it's Friday afternoon, and depending on what sort of special aircraft they're flying, sometimes our Wi-Fi can get a little flickery. So with that, if you do lose us, please come back. We will just be off for a few minutes, and then we'll be back and joining you. The third piece of housekeeping is normally I'm in an outfit, and we had a big grand plan for a big like tree-like element for me, but alas, my costume got stuck in the mail. And we were kind of joking beforehand that I think it might be hanging out with everyone's Clue 7s that were lost in the postal system. So, you know, we are not, unfortunately, immune to that as well. So maybe I'll get the costume and be able to wear it next week. Who knows? We'll find a use for it. Paula's very creative and redesigning everything. And she's passing me a note. She's asking me to have everyone check in with where you're watching us, to be sure to like and to share this video, just so that we let as many people as possible can see it. So we are broadcasting this on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, you're going to see this just a little bit later in the future. That is absolutely A-okay. Now, I see a lot of very anxious detectives checking in online. So a couple of quick questions before we jump into the goods. Your Clue 10s are going to be emailed to you at 1:30 p.m. So in 16 minutes, you're going to receive an email that's going to show you how to assemble all these lovelies. All of your backing and your border kits are mailed to you. Most of the backing goes out today. Some is going to trickle into the weekend. If you watch a regular live show, you know we have 2 employees that are out on emergency medical leave. So our team is coming in over the weekend to help get those all caught up. We're just a little bit behind, guys. Give us just a little bit more grace on those backing kits. But all your Clue 10s, all the borders are out the door. It's just the backings that are going to be just a smidge late, but they are all coming to you. Oh, I see people checking in from all over. I love every bit of that. Oh, the UK. Woohoo! I love United Kingdom checking in. Awesome. Okay. So what is this puzzle mystery quilt program that we've been talking about? So it is Cotton Cuts pre-cut mystery. We do this twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall, and we mail to you pre-cut pieces of fabric. Here is our chestnut colorway. You get triangles, square strips. You sew them back together and you set them aside. You do the same the next month and you set it aside. And then in the 10th month, today, we tell you to attach month 1 to month 7 to month 6 and actually create this awesome design altogether. Paula has me talking about this in a little bit, but we actually had you guys get out your design wall and play with it and put it together. And so we are going to put that up on our website for you guys to check in and see how close your fellow detectives came. So thank you all so much for submitting those suggestions, submitting your ideas. This one was fun. I think a lot of people got really close on this one. And we're going to check in with Ian and see how close he actually came to the final design as well. All right, so we are going to start with Sheila. So Sheila is my partner. She's been my partner for 8 years in this business. She approached me from New Zealand to launch this crazy, quirky die cut program in the United States. And here we are 8 years later. This is our 15th mystery together. And so Sheila is going to be joining us. I know she was having problems with the camera, but there she is. Holy cow. Good.
Can you hear me as well?
I can hear you. Good morning,
Wonderful.
Sheila. What time is it on Saturday?
Plan B, which was the iPad instead of the computer.
Okay.
It is 7:16 a.m. here in New Zealand.
It's so early for you. It seems like it's been forever since I've seen you. What, like 5 days or so?
Yeah. Such a long time.
Well, Sheila and I saw each other at market. We traveled and we shopped for colorways and all things for everything 2025. But we have to come back to today. So Sheila, tell us about the Tree of Life puzzle mystery quilt design.
Okay, so every time I design a mystery quilt, I start off with square paper and pencil, and I just try and get some elements going that I'm going to use in the design. And with this one, I just wanted to make some element that you'll see in a moment. And this thing reminded me of a tree. And so I thought, I'll call it the Tree of Life, because I love the idea of the Tree of Life. It runs through all cultures, all religions, it's everywhere. So no matter where you're from, what your background, it means something. Mm-hmm. And the Cotton Cuts team had a fantastic time coming up with these beautiful names, because my brain would have gone elm tree, ash tree, oak tree. But they've come up with these beautiful names. So I've got behind me on the wall one called Enchanted, And I've got another one over there, which we'll figure out how we're going to show you.
It's, you know, this is a
we may
live
have to go
review.
off and then on again. And that one is small, which is yeah, either that or you close your eyes while the camera bounces like crazy.
You know, Sheila, this is usually, because again, it's a live show, right? We've had things fall, we've had things twist and turn. It happens, but you know what? I think the most important thing is that people get to see pretty fabric, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
right.
So Sheila, are you ready to show us the big design, the big reveal? All right, let's see.
So I may have to move the camera a little bit. It's behind this quilt, so you will see most of the quilt. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. And let's move the cover. So this is...
I need a drum roll. I need Dominic here for the drum roll. Drum roll, please.
This is Enchanted in the large.
Yes.
And this is, as Becca and Ian were just talking about, this is not my colours. I would never, ever choose cheddar and navy, but I love it. So there we go.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Sheila, that the fabrics are so amazing. Look at that.
I absolutely love them.
So I remember I saw that fabric at market and I was like, Sheila, we have to do something in this colorway. It is popular. Yeah. People love it. It is great. And you were like, it looks awesome. It looks so great.
Cool. So as you can see, we've got this here sort of creating curves. It's the magic of creating. It's like the old string stitching, you know, where you could create curves with lines. And I just loved playing with that idea. Mm-hmm. But what you're going to see in other colorways is that this center part comes out in completely different ways. So different parts of it come forward and different parts of it sit back. But yeah, for example, this fabric here is different to this fabric here, but you can't tell it in this design, but in other designs you will. So there we go.
Yes, yay! So I love it, Sheila, because in the middle it looks like there's 4 separate trees kind of coming out of a center kind of. It's got that kind of radial tree. Yes. Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right. Do you want to attempt to show us the Storyteller?
I shall. Would you like to turn my camera off for a moment so I can get in position?
Sure. I can make up stuff. I can wing it. I can make it work.
Okay. I can probably. No, I don't. I really don't want to turn my camera off. So everybody, if you get seasick, close your eyes.
What we can do, Sheila, is we can take you off the stage for a second. We can come back to me, and I can talk about the tree behind me, and then we can come back to you, so nobody gets sick.
Sure. Okay.
Paula? All right. Okay. There we go. All right. So Sheila is getting a Storyteller set up for us, and she did that one in the small. So the Enchanted we saw was the large size. We always do 2 sizes for our mystery. The large size is always 72 by 72, and the small size is always 48 by 60. And so as you'll see with the Cotton Cuts mysteries, the small is not then exploded into the large. It's not a bigger scale of the same design. It's actually the same core design, but with additional design elements to make it a bigger dimension. And so we saw the large. The large has all those extras around it. And so we're about to see the small when she comes back. I am taking a look. Oh, Susan's saying she's surprised. It's much better than she expected. I love to see that. Let's see here. So we've got this tree behind me. And so we'll talk about this a little bit. So at the beginning of Tree of Life, we talked about ways in which we can integrate the elements of Tree of Life. It's something that has a lot of cultural elements, cultural significance. How could we represent the Cotton Cuts Tree of Life? And so everyone that signed up for the mystery was mailed a piece of fabric and asked to cut out a leaf, whatever shape of leaf they wanted to, send it back to us with their name and their city and state. Yes, city and state. And then we ironed it onto this tree back here. And so this is our finished tree. It has been evolving and developing. We're still getting leaves today. And so, oh goodness. Sorry, technical difficulties. We activated the second camera. So yes, so this is what our tree is today. We're going to get some close-up photos and be able to put that on the website as well. All right, so Sheila, is Sheila ready? Paula? Okay. All right, give us a second, guys. Yeah, we got to get Paula. We threw a little loophole in there. We took one person off. Now we got to bring her back. Okay, Sheila, are you ready? Sheila.
Yeah.
All right. Calling Sheila. Sheila. All right. Okay. So I am being told to advance on, and we will come back to Sheila. So what we're going to do now is show you guys different colorways. And I think we have about 5 different colorways that were done by people here in St. Louis. These are employees. These are family members of employees. We like to sew it as much as you guys do. And so my folks sewed it at the same time. They were given clue 10 and they were asked to piece it together. So I'm going to show the first one and then we'll go back to Sheila. So the first one is actually Jubilee. This is a collection of kind of red, white, and blue patriotic Minnick and Simpson prints. So it has a little bit of that reproduction feel to it. And this one was done by Dawn from my team. Dawn is a super seasoned mystery quilt detective. I think this is probably her 5th or 6th one. She does a lot of PMQ sewing for us. Here, I'll move over to this other side. So this is what the small version of Jubilee looks like. And so okay. We've got some technical stuff. So hi, that's Robin. Robin is going to be zooming in on the quilt so you guys can see detail of it. All right, go Robin. All right, so Robin, you can see, so the small has that same tree design, but as Sheila was saying, it's different because here, this is a different, you can see this kind of star element popping more because there's a higher contrast between these two fabrics. Still does have the creation of curves with squares and triangles. And then this one has this pop of a reddish orange just to give additional design elements. And if you compare this to the Enchanted, guys, those borders look so different just depending on the fabric choices and the fabrics that are used. That's how I'm looking here now. Okay, all right. All right. All right, I'm going to take Jubilee off the stage while we get Sheila ready. All right, Sheila's there, and Sheila's showing Storyteller. All right, Sheila, tell us about Storyteller.
So this is my small in Storyteller. And yeah, it's Zen Chic fabric. So it's called Bluish by Zen Chic. With this one, this area here is all very similar. So it almost looks like one square. And then you start to see these here. So I love this little pattern here that appears on some of the colorways. You might not see it perfectly on here, but I can see it. Yeah, so I loved, and this was my pick of colors. I chose this one.
Fantastic.
So I've got 2 things actually that I wanted to say. One is that if you're doing the extra borders, if you're in New Zealand, your extra borders will come later. So don't quilt your quilt until you get them, because otherwise you'll wonder what to do with the fabric. And then another one is a little tip on the large, which you won't be able to see right now, but if I lift this up now, when you're adding on this, it's kind of the pieced border, which is last but one, you don't have any seams to match. But if you fold these in half, I'll maybe do a little video about it. If you fold in half and then you fold these squares in half, you can kind of center everything up. So that gives you a good guide for pinning your border on.
Yes, so that's fantastic. Because you want those, and so we call them kind of a sailboat when we first saw it, but they're kind of like little sailboats with hats. And so you want to make sure everything is kind of centered and lined up. But you're right, there's no seams to pin this together.
To know that you're pinning everything in the right place and everything's lined up. So yeah.
Yes. All right, fantastic.
Cool.
All right, Sheila, do you have any advice other than that border piece?
I would say relax, enjoy. It won't take you too long. I put both borders on both of these yesterday. And I even managed to do some other stuff as well during the day. So
all right, Sheila, can you tell us, I'm going to announce the next mystery at the end of the show, but can you give us a hint of what they might see in the next mystery?
Yes, well, so the colorways are going to be a bit of a surprise to me because I've given Kim a huge list of choices and then they're going to narrow it down. It's something to do with the change in the seasons.
Yes. Something to do with animals that move in certain directions at certain times of the year. Yes, and that possibly could be integrated into the quilt in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or possibly not, the way you think.
Or possibly not. Yes,
Yeah.
depending on the colorway, you might see different things.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Okay, Sheila, thank you so much. This has been awesome. As always, I appreciate your partnership. This design is awesome. It's been so great to see it come together, and I appreciate you so much.
And thank you for such a fantastic time at Houston. I have a huge stack of booklets with fabrics in for not this quilt coming up, but the next one after that. So
I know that's scary, right? We're already planning for next summer, right? Like we are already planning that far ahead. All right, fantastic. All right,
okay,
Sheila, I'll let you.
Thanks everybody, and
You got it. Thank you, Sheila. All right, so let's get back to the Cotton Cuts Made quilts. So the next one you guys have already seen. It is a large Enchanted. It was made by Lark, who is the sister of Holly. So Lark is an absolute beginning quilter. I would say, I'm going to look at Holly as I'm saying this. So about a year ago, like Lark had never made a quilt before. Yes, this is her first quilt, guys. And so her second quilt, sorry. And so Lark is now addicted to the puzzle mystery quilts. Like we have sewing to be done. We call up Lark and she's like, jumps in and she's like, is it die cut? I am sewing it. She has been bitten by the quilting bug. And we are so happy that she made this quilt and was like, not afraid to put it on the show as her first project. So this is the large Enchanted again. And so what I would like Robin to do, so Robin is running our camera today, is really kind of get in on the colors so you can see, because I know that with Sheila, it was in the back. Oh, I have no idea. So that phone is locked. So we are gonna do something else. Okay. So I will actually, we're gonna wing it, gang. This is what happens with live television. So I'm gonna actually bring the laptop up here so you can see. So some of the fabrics don't have as high a contrast, but it actually works in the design because the trees blend a little differently together. It is the same exact thing. So there's those sailboats that Sheila was talking about. So when you piece that border, make sure that you center it on the squares. Lark did a fantastic job. A lot of her points line up, which is one of the most beautiful things. Here, Robin, we're not going to do that for this one. Which is one of the most beautiful things for the mystery is that they actually line up because everything's pre-cut for you. Okay, so the next one we have is by Paige. It is a large Moonlight done by Cheryl from IT. So Cheryl is our awesome office manager. She went to Quilt Market with us. And so guys, you can see in this one, very, very soft palette, very, very neutral. Let's go ahead and have Robin see if we can get her up there to take, so you guys can get a closer look at it. Sorry, we got some echo here. So yeah, so you can see this is the Moonlight colorway. So this is done by a Free Spirit designer, Shell Sisters. And so this one, very, very soft. And when Cheryl put all these fabrics together, she was so motivated that she wanted to create accent pillows for this quilt because she liked all the fabrics. They blend so nicely together. And in this one, more than the others, this inverted tree here pops more because it is the darker color. And so she actually created these pillows. And so these pillows were made using stitches. And so she pulled all those strips out of our stitches, which are the leftovers from our die cuts, and she made 2 pillows that are all the fabrics. Here, I'm going to have this zoomed in so you can, oh, you zoomed in and I zoomed in. Right. So she made all of these, she made 2 pillows, and she just used the scraps. She used the leftovers. And again, Cheryl's not a super like seasoned quilter. She has not been doing this a long time. And she made these awesome pillows using scraps and fabrics that are going to look fantastic against her mystery quilt. All right, next up, we have a small version of the Moonlight. And so what I wanted to talk about with this, sorry, gang, what? Okay, so this one has the extra borders. This is a small with extra borders, Paula. It's a small. Sorry, guys. Paula is telling me other things. It's okay. We'll get it all worked out. So this is the small Moonlight. So you can see one of the differences between the small and the large is that it has less design elements. But this tree is still the same. It is continuous throughout, as well as this center medallion piece. But with the extra borders, as Ian and Becca talked about, they add the finishing element to it. They add the element to the outside. And so it makes it just a little bit bigger, so it's not as small as a 48 by 60, but it does have the same central elements to it. And this one was made by Robin. This was yours, yeah? My cameraman, the one zooming in for us, made this one. Again, Robin, this is what, your second or third quilt? Third. This is her third puzzle mystery quilt. One of my favorite Robin videos is her laying out her quilt from the last PMQ on the design wall and putting it all together. That's one of our best videos. I love that one, Robin. She did a Christmas theme again. Okay. Those are all of the cotton cuts program. So we're going to go back to the main camera. Okay, now we get to go talk to some of my favorite people. We get to go and out and see what other quilts have been made by the people who you guys have been watching on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok for the past 10 months. So first up is Andrea from Arkansas Gals. Hello, Andrea. How are you?
How are you doing? Look what's on my wall.
Hold on one second. My audio is off. All right. I know. Audio problems. Andrea, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you now too. How are you, Andrea?
Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, look here.
I see gnomes. Those are Thanksgiving gnomes. I love it. That's fantastic.
Actually, it's still September's.
That's right. Okay, I can see the apples. Yes. I love it. Thank you, Andrea. That makes me very happy. That is awesome. All right. So, Andrea, tell us, how many mysteries have you done with cotton cuts?
I'm not positive. I was sitting there thinking, I'm thinking 5 at least.
I think so, yes.
Not more, but at least 5.
I think it's been at least 5. It's because we've checked in with you pretty frequently. Because I always remember you're always backlit, and when you show your quilt, it always has this backlit like stained glass effect. It's always fantastic.
Like, it's so sunny here.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Don't apologize for it being sunny.
That who did that? Those pillows, that was so cute.
Oh, Cheryl. Yes, right. Because with the stitches, you get all the long strips, and they're not lined. There's no pattern here. It's very improv based. Let's just put our strips together. They don't have to line up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right. So tell us, Andrea, what colorway did you do this time around?
I did Jubilee.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it. It's my favorite one. Sheila hit this pattern out of the park.
Okay, so when you were sewing it along, was it your favorite, or was it your favorite? Because we heard Becca and Ian say they did not like theirs while they were sewing it.
Loved it the whole time. I was this pattern looks so good with that colorway. You'll see. Well, I've got the big, but
yeah, and I can't wait to see the big version too. It's going to be awesome. All right. So tell us, what was your favorite part about this quilt? Like, as you're piecing it together, was it the fabric? Was it the design? Tell us your favorite part.
Probably the fabric, because I didn't know the design until I started. I don't ever try to figure it out because I'm horrible at that. But yeah, the fabric was just beautiful. I loved the fabric. And I loved on the Jubilee how it just has, like you kind of touched on that, just little splashes of that orangey red.
Yes.
It just pops.
Well, and when we got the fabric in, I almost returned it because I was like, it's supposed to be red, but it's more orange. But it works. It works. I'm literally like, this is supposed to be red. Like, how can I ship this? This is wrong. This doesn't look right. And then I'm piecing it together. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. This looks very lovely.
Yeah.
All right. So what is your one tip for anyone who's done a puzzle mystery quilt?
I would say study the colorways that are coming out. Know what you want. Hop on there as soon as that goes live and grab your colorway. That'd be my best advice. So before it sells out.
That is actually a fantastic tip because I'm going to announce it later. But once a colorway sells out, it's permanently sold out for this mystery. Yes, okay. I know. Unprecedented. So Andrea, did Paula tell you that? Because no, I don't think I've told anyone that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. When it sells out, they're going to sell out for the next mystery. So get on there quickly.
So it's going to be extra important.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So Andrea, show us your quilt. Show us this large Jubilee.
I hope I can present it okay. I'm debating because it's so sunny, like we said. Okay. Or I'm going to see if you can't see it. If you can't, I'm going to hang it up.
All right.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Y'all, it's beautiful. It is freaking beautiful. Are you there?
I think so. I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'm like, Andrea, can you hear me? Paula, she can't hear me. All right. That looks awesome and amazing. It was great. So are you going to keep it or are you going to donate it? What's the plan?
It's a keeper.
Okay. Is it going, okay, where are you going to keep it? Is it couched? Is it bed? What are you going to do with it? Okay. Fantastic.
And 4th of July.
Let's see here. So I'm being asked, did you put Minky on the back of yours?
No, it's laying on. No, I didn't. It's on top of another quilt.
Oh, okay.
Hold it up, and so I had a back. But no, I didn't have put Minky on one of y'all's.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my couch right now. You will see it?
Sure. I would not. We got you here. No, I love putting Minky on the back of quilts. Everyone that's on our couch that is the first grabbed has Minky on the back of it. Oh yes, yeah. Holy cow, that's an oldie. Yes. Oh my gosh. Fantastic.
Couch all the time.
All right. So Andrea, tell us, how can people find you for the next mystery, and where are they going to learn more about you?
YouTube is my main channel, Arkansas Gals. And I do sew with me's every night. I do tons of unboxings of all kinds of stuff, not just quilting.
Fantastic. Andrea, you are an amazing partner. I love seeing everything you put together and all of your creative content. You are amazing. Thank you so much for all of your support.
Thank y'all. Y'all's awesome.
You got it. Thank you, Andrea. All right, we'll talk soon. All right, so next up, we have Crystal. Crystal is on location, gang. She is out in the wild of a subdivision. She is just hanging out, enjoying a beautiful fall day. Like, look at you. You look so sunny.
Thank you. It feels good outside too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is. We're in that phase where it's like 30 degrees in the morning and then like beautiful now, and you have no idea what you're doing in the day. So yeah. How are you, Crystal?
I'm good. Okay.
Okay. Last time we talked, you were in transition. Like you were mobile sewing last time we connected.
Oh, yes? Well, we live in an RV park. So I usually sew in what they call the amenity center here.
Yes.
So that's why I'm outside.
Yes, I love it. I would be outside too if I were you. All right. So tell us how many mysteries have you done with us, Crystal?
This is my third one. Wild West is my fourth.
I think if I remember correctly, that feels about right. All right. And which colorway did you choose this time around?
I have Secret Garden.
And I got to see it beforehand. It's so awesome. Okay. All right. So
Crystal, is beautiful.
So why did you pick this colorway? Why this one over all the rest?
So usually whenever I check out the colorways, I'm looking for the fun colors, whatever speaks to me. And Secret Garden was just like, it was it for me. The florals and that purplish color, beautiful. And mustard yellow. My gems know that's my favorite color.
I think you used it when you sewed against me and you won. So I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yes, you did. All right. So you've done this a couple times. What is the one tip you would share with someone as they're putting it together, as they're assembling it?
I would say chill and have fun with it, because you don't have to do all the math and the thinking. So just enjoy the process and take your time, because it's quick anyway. I mean, just take your time with it.
Yeah, I know we get a lot of feedback about people who have a lot of anxiety about it's not all 3.5, right? It's not like their pieces aren't sewing 3.5 by 6.5. And I'm like, as long as you are consistent, it will geometrically fit together, right? It might not be the 72 by 72. I'm not measuring your quilt to see if it's 72 by 72. It might be 70 by 70. And that is absolutely okay. Geometry works, people. As long as we're consistent, it's all going to work together. Yes?
Correct. Just use your seam allowance and keep your seam allowance consistent, and you'll be good.
Yeah, and I'm always don't change sewing machines on a PMQ. like religiously.
Oh
like,
no, yeah. And I did.
I know.
I did on this one.
That's okay. It just makes the finishing that much more fun. All right, so Crystal, without further ado, go ahead and show us your secret garden, please.
Okay, I'm gonna have to back y'all up and stand y'all up.
And
sorry. Okay. It's quite windy, so hopefully it doesn't blow away. I'm gonna back up. Wrong way. Oh.
So it happens, Crystal, where you're like holding it up and the wind is like pushing it against your body, just like in the practice. So
Yeah.
one of
Now,
the things. Yeah, go ahead, Crystal.
like the colorway to me, when I back up, it looks very princessy, and this is not even Enchanted, but to me, it kind of looks regal.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that gold and that pink next to each other. I mean, that's not a common color connection. I would
Right.
never go into a store and put those colors together, would you?
Right. I probably would, because they're some of my favorite colors. Like the other day, I actually had on a dress this color with my signature headband in the
Yep.
mustard yellow.
That's hysterical. Oh my gosh. So you definitely, this is a quilt made for you. Me, I would make this and be like, oh yeah, rock star, but I would never be able to do it again. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Crystal, tell us, how can people find you to follow along for sewing for Wild West? Tell them how to connect with you.
Check me out on my YouTube channel, Crystal Heart. Also Instagram, One Crystal Heart, and Facebook, Crystal Heart. My Facebook group, Crystal Heart Creates and Shares.
And all your gems, yes.
And
I
all
love
the
all your
gems. Come and
yes.
become a gem.
Woohoo! I think that's pretty darn cool. All right, Crystal, as always, thank you so much for your support. I love that quilt. I'm glad that you love it.
I do.
It's so different than all the ones, right? The colorway choice matters. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Bye, Crystal. All right, next up on our list, it looks to be Sean, the guy who sews. And look at Sean's already ready. He's like, I don't need to like dilly dally around. I got my quilt because I'm on my lunch break and I got to get moving and I got to get back to work. Yes.
Exactly. Plus, I've never done a large before, and I was like, where am I going to hang this thing? So I found a little bit of wall space here, some painter's tape, and it's going to stay up there for the duration of the life, hopefully.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Sean, like, look at that. Like, it's beautiful, but yet it looks so different than the others, right?
It does. It very much does. And I love this colorway. Like, you know me in batiks. I've done batiks every time up until Wild West. But yeah, this moment I pulled this out of the package, I was like, this is going to look absolutely stunning. But I was blown away once I pieced it all together.
Yeah, I mean, and yours, like, there's such a blend in your outer borders, and it makes that center white tree element just like pop off the camera, right?
Very much so. And it's even more so in person. Like, I just could not get the lighting right to show you in the live, to show you just how bright and that sort of thing it is. But it's absolutely stunning. I'm really looking forward to quilting this and then, doing something with it.
Now, so my question for you, so you've done a lot of batiks with us. And I
Yes.
know we get this feedback like, oh, it's another batik colorway. It's another purple colorway. And people are like, they feel like they're doing the same thing over and over again. As someone who's sewn a lot of the purple batiks, do you think they're the same every time?
No.
Okay, good. That's the right answer.
Lavender was a lot of purples, altogether. This time around, I like the contrast and the variety of colors that were included in this. It wasn't just a bunch of purples. The white jumps in and pops out so much, especially here in the center, the blues and that sort of thing there. I was a bit worried about the batiks for, I think it's whatever one Wild West is. I thought that'd be very similar to lavender, but having seen the clues, that's not the case as well. So yeah, as someone that's done it several times, I do see a nice change. So if you do enjoy purples, there are wonderful options, and I've loved working with the batiks.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those things. So you know the colors, right? Because we give you that in the wheel. And every now and then I will say, okay, so this fabric is more prominent than the others. But you really have no sense for what proportion each one of those fabrics is actually going to be. And I can't tell you, okay, the lightest color in your colorway is going to be the center tree element. Because as we've seen, like Enchanted has the darker elements as the tree. So it can't really tell you which is more prominent than another.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. So Sean, what's one tip you would share with detectives sewing the puzzle mystery quilt?
Well, I was going to give the same tip as Crystal did about the 1/4-inch seam. So I'm going to go to my backup, which is I love that if you can, prepay. That way you're only waiting for the postman or the postwoman once. And then if you're international, if you prepay, the shipping's on them. You don't have to pay $50, $60, $70 to get it shipped to Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Sweden, or wherever else you may live. So, if you're living outside the US and you want to join in, you can. There may be a little bit of duty that you have to pay, taxes once it arrives in your country, but it's usually like $20 or $25. It's not a huge amount. So do not let that dissuade you from signing up for a future project.
I think that's so. I love that every time we talk to you, you bring that up. Obviously, you're not from the United States with your accent, but I wanted to make sure that we can include as many detectives as possible with this program. And people are always like, I live outside the US. I have to pay $25 a meter for fabric. I could never participate. And I was like, we can come up with a creative solution. And that's really where the prepaid option came from. And it is actually cheaper for us to mail one package to Australia than 10 packages inside the United States. And so I was like, this should be free. This should be something that we can offer for everybody. But I'm giving everyone fair notice. For the next mystery, we're cutting off prepay enrollments with Clue 1. So we're not going to continue prepay enrollments after Clue 1 ships. We'll still do month to month after Clue 1. But if you love what Sean says and you want to prepay for the next mystery, you have to do it before Clue 1 ships. You heard it here first, people.
It's good for me to know, so that way I can promote it that way as well.
Yeah. It's one of those ones. It takes one person one full day to make a prepaid quilt. And so if people sign up late, like I have to pull one person off to do that. And so we're going to cut it off. And we'll still sign up people month to month after that. That's absolutely fine. That's not a problem at all. All right. Yep. So Sean, how can people find you after the video to sew along with you for Wild West?
Okay, I've actually got a time lapse coming out in about 45 minutes to see this thing come together over at The Guy Who Sews on YouTube. So go check out that channel as well. I do have a presence on Instagram and Facebook, but I'm not as active on those. So if you want to see me, come check me out on my YouTube channel.
And what's the channel? What's the platform you and I were talking about last we spoke? The new platform, the chatting, the community-based one. What's the one?
Discord.
Discord, yes, thank you. You're also on Discord as well.
Yes, but that's under a different name. If you go to one of my videos, I have the link to join up there. It's called the Quilters Collab, because I originally started it with some other quilters.
Fantastic. All right. So my next thing for you is the boy who sews wants to do a collab with you at some point when he's home for winter break. So
absolutely, I'd love to do that. Just get in touch with me and we'll figure out a date and a time. I mean, that's something I've wanted to do myself. So yeah, I'm definitely on board with that.
Yeah, we'll get my people, Paula, to get with your people, and we'll get the boy who sews with the guy who sews together.
Well, my people is just me, myself, and I. So.
I was teasing. I was just making it up. Yeah. Yeah, Dominic looks up to you. He loves your stuff. So I think it'd be a lot of fun. We'll put something together.
Great.
All right. Thank you so much, Sean. As always, I appreciate your support. You are awesome. I love the quilt. I hope you love it as much as we do.
I really do. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, fantastic. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Sean. Have a great, go back to work. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right. I'm checking to see who's next. All right. We have Amber coming up next from So Majestic. And she's like, you guys are like prepared. You don't want to deal with the Ian where the whole thing comes crashing down on you.
Well, there's such literal little space. I actually have it clipped to the wall on a snowboard. So it's like, if I don't put it there, I'm not sure where else I would have room for it. I'll be outside in the street. So it's just easier than me trying to hold it. Plus I'm short, so.
You could do the okay, I'm going to have a really tall person I have for the day, and they just walk in and then right out.
That's so funny. Yeah, I have to do that a lot sometimes.
That's okay. We all have our professional quilt holders that we do photos with. So, okay, so Amber, welcome. All right, so tell us. We'll start first with the quilt behind you. What did you make?
I have the large Moonlight. I'm so inspired by seeing with the extra borders now, with the pillows. I'm like, man, I need to get the extra fabric so now I can add on. I can make the pillows I love it. I am so happy with it. I love the theme of Tree of Life, and the centerpiece really reminded me of a Celtic knot. So I really love how we're talking about how the Tree of Life appears in, all cultures across the world. It's very inspiring.
Yes. So you love the process. You loved the sewing the fabrics together, the whole bit. Yes. It was good for you. Okay, good.
Yes.
So Amber, how many mysteries is this for you?
This is my fourth one. My third as an ambassador, and then my fifth one is Wild West.
Yahoo! All right, so tell us, what is your one insider tip you would share with people?
I would say have fun, and then join the Cotton Cuts Facebook group and Sheila's Mystery Quilters Facebook group, because I have the best time posting in there. And I go there all the time. I love seeing everybody post their progress with the flat Nancy's and just talk about the joy that they're having sewing the quilts. So those are two communities that if you're not already a part of, like, you definitely have to join them.
I love that group as well. I love it when people post pictures and they're like, I'm so nervous. I've never posted a picture on social media before. Be nice. And those groups are always so supportive, and they're just cheerleaders, because everyone's posted their first photo, right? Everyone's been in the, this is my first PMQ. Everyone's been in the, I've never sewn a quilt before. So like, it is just such a fantastic cheerleader group of people. I love it.
Yeah. And even as an ambassador, I was like, this is my first time doing a large, and this is my first time doing a neutral colorway. So even as ambassadors, like, it's a lot of firsts for us as well. So no one needs to feel funny or anything. Definitely participate.
Yeah, it's. I think it's it's such a kind community too. Everyone's very, very supportive. And if people post a question, I mean, I don't even. I'm a fast Facebooker. Like, I'm fast to comment. But there's like 6 people that have already responded before I can even get to it. I'm like, oh, they got it. They're good. They're fantastic. I love the community, Amber. Thank you so much for mentioning it. Okay, so Amber, what colorway are you sewing for Wild West?
For Wild West, I'm sewing a large Josie, and Sean reached out to me because we saw Ian and Becca having so much fun choosing each other's. So Sean and I chose each other's colorways, and he did a phenomenal job. Like I said, this is my first neutral, because normally I go bright, colorful, and I wasn't sure what he was going to pick, because I told him, you know, it's okay if it's something completely different. But he chose some pretty bright colors, and I love it so far. I can't wait to see it come together.
Woo-hoo, yay! All right. So Amber, how can people find you? Where's your primary communication?
Yeah, I go by So Majestic. My 2 largest groups are my Facebook group and TikTok. I started going live every Tuesday night, though, at 8 p.m. Eastern on both TikTok and YouTube. And I also have an Instagram presence, so all over the place.
You're live on TikTok every Tuesday?
Yes, I started doing that the last 2 months, and I've been having so much fun. Usually, well, with the Tree of Life and Wild West, like, so 2 weeks I was doing a clue. The other 2, it could be whatever I'm working on at that time.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't even know lives on TikTok were a thing, so I've learned something new today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they're quite fun.
I know there's like the live sewing, but I like the concept of like a live sewing, so we can watch you sew. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and then, you know, if I mess up, you can see me corrected all my mistakes, or, you know, the sewing machine jams. Like we were talking about earlier about being actually live and all the stuff that can, you know, go right or wrong.
Yes, I know. My favorite videos are when I see someone with the fabric get sucked into the machine, and I'm like, I know that one.
Yes.
I've been there.
Yep,
yes.
been there.
Or they're sewing along and they're talking away, and then they take their project out, and the bottom thread, they ran out of bobbin like 6 feet earlier. Yes, I have definitely. Yes,
that was me putting this together. And one of my time lapses, I'm like, oh no, I wonder if you can see it.
Or I like to play bobbin chicken, and I look, and it's like counting how much fabric is left on a bolt of fabric. And I'm like, do I have enough to make it? I'm gonna live dangerously. I'm going.
Exactly. That's the way I live.
Oh my gosh. Fantastic, Amber. Thank you so much for your support. As always, your quilt looks amazing. I am so glad you took a chance and did the large. It looks awesome. And as always, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, Amber. We'll talk
Bye.
soon. All right. Next up, we have someone who I just saw. Okay, there we go. Next up, we have someone who I just saw like at every event this weekend. Hello, Beth. How are you?
Good. How are you? It's so good to see you again.
It's like, so for everyone's, so Beth was at Quilt Market, and so we kept running into each other. She came up and she's like, oh my gosh. And so she showed me her quilt, and it was funny. She had it on her cell phone, and she was like 6 people this side of me. And so she turned it upside down and made them secretly pass it down to hand it to me so I could see her quilt. And like, she's like super prepared. Look at this, Beth. I love it. Tell us about your quilt. Give us the good scoop. Give us the good word.
So this is the Olive Grove small, and I got too excited to quilt it and bind it. So next time I'm going to tell myself to slow down and wait for the extra borders because those are looking amazing on everyone else's quilts. But this fabric is so gorgeous. I swear it was designed for the pattern. It's just so pretty, and it looks like it's radiating almost. I am so in love with this one.
Oh my gosh, you were like, when you were talking to me about it, you were glowing. Like,
Yeah.
I could tell, like, this is not something, guys, she's just telling you because we're on this show right now. Like, she legitimately really, really likes this quilt.
Yeah.
Now, so Beth, I am super proud you're still standing. It's my understanding you've been sick all week. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I got home, I got a fever. I swear my body was like adrenaline, adrenaline. And then once I got home, it was like, you're done. Take a nap for like 4 days.
I know. And you don't have any littles at home that depend on you to do anything,
No,
right?
and those littles don't get sick when you're sick, right? So it's been easy sailing this week, but we're finally to Friday, and I'm like, this weekend will be a good buffer, hopefully between next week where we can kind of catch our footing again.
Yes. Okay. So Beth, this is, I think, probably 4 or 5 for you, right?
This is my 3rd. Yes.
Yes. I think Wild West is 4. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So what is your one tip you would share with a new detective?
This is something that I struggle with when I'm doing traditional quilting is ironing at the end and pressing my seams to where they nest. And that's one of my favorite things about getting the instructions and the clues in the mail is that you include that. And then when I'm putting it all together, I know if I have the placement messed up because the seams won't nest. So it's like a quick indicator of like, oh, you need to go back and look because these should be nesting perfectly. And so that's been like one of my favorite like saving graces when sewing my puzzle mystery quilts.
So I love that. I love, a lot of people say press per the directions, right? And we give that to you, which to me, to be clear, I didn't know it was a thing until about 10 years ago. I'd quilted for many years without realizing you actually needed to press in a certain direction. But I think your tip there that you just said, as people are putting these together, if your seams do not nest, stop.
Yep.
Because it means something is probably misaligned, off, turned, or rotated in the wrong direction. Beth, that is an incredible tip, that the way the puzzles are designed is every seam is supposed to nest. Oh, I am being asked to make sure that you show your backing to us because evidently
I found
to behold.
This was like an impulse buy. So this was one that I had in my stash, and it's got like polar bears and stuff. When you go to a quilt shop and you find a fabric that you like and you're like, I'll take 5 yards. And then you're like, well, what am I going to use this for? When I was putting this together, I had an aha moment and I was like, wait, that fabric that I impulsively bought several months ago is perfect for this quilt. And even my husband came down, he was helping me set up and he was like, oh, that's such a good match. So that's like my favorite thing to do is to try to see if I have anything that fits. But I love it. It's so perfect.
So this is the second thing I've learned from you, Beth. So you as a long armor, when you go into a quilt shop and you impulsively buy fabric, your standard unit is 5 yards.
Yep, I'm getting a backing.
For me, I'm like, I'll take 1 yard. I'll take 2. If it's something I have to really like it, I take 2 yards. Otherwise, I'm a half yard. You're just like 5.
5 yards.
Go big or go home. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. Beth, oh my gosh. As always, it has been a joy and a pleasure. Thank you so much for putting this together. I think next time we're going to try to get you like here. Yes.
Yes, because I'm not too far. I'm in Kansas City, so it's just a short little drive up your way. So
yes, you will get to see all the fantastic behind the scenes things of
yes,
how we try to make sure things don't fall over.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Beth, as always, thank you so much for your support. You're awesome. And it was fun running into you. And I can't wait to see your Wild West quilt come together.
Yes, thank you for having me. You have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Beth. Bye. Okay. I think we are to our last ambassador who has been hanging out in the middle of nowhere in the woods by himself. Can we get Ian up there? Hello, Ian. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
So I think you've really upped your game this time. The like actually going out in the trees to talk about the Tree of Life quilts.
I mean, it's called the Tree of Life, so I kind of had to be out in the wilderness, and I'm very lucky that it's warm. I apparently brought the heat from Texas up to Northern Virginia because I'm out here in shorts. I'm like, it's a beautiful day for November 1st.
To be clear, you brought the heat north to everywhere. Like it is
apparently
obscenely hot everywhere.
Yep,
That's the power you have.
Yeah, I did pass through St. Louis on my way here, so apparently it just followed me through.
It did. It is just the heat rises. All right. So Ian, how many is this for you? Is this like 12?
10. This is number 10 for me.
10.
Wild West is number 11, and then the next one that will be revealed is number 12.
Woohoo, that is awesome. Okay. So Ian, so you've been doing this for a long time.
Oh, wow.
What is the one single different tip that you would give folks?
So everybody took mine. Everybody took all of the tips that I had. So my tip to everybody is just do it. Just buy the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. Don't doubt yourself. Don't question yourself. Just do it.
I like it. I think if we started putting out just do it though, a pretty big company might come and squash us.
Probably.
Yeah, like we
I'm
might
just
get in
saying.
trouble. Yes, you're just saying. You just said it, not just me. So yes,
Right, exactly.
I love it. I think it's a just jump in, right?
Yep.
Like we have, and I will turn your tip a little bit. So we have the try before you buy, right? So if you've never done this before and you have no idea what this looks like and feels like, we've got the free try before you buy on the website, and we'll send you a free clue, and you can sew. Oh, just sew it. Everyone. So we're getting comments. Just sew it, just quilt it, just do
There
it
you go.
anyway. There we go. Okay. I love all these people getting around the infringement claims. I love it. Okay. So Ian, it's my understanding you have a little bit of an announcement to share with everyone.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it at the beginning, but I am nervously opening myself up so that everybody gets to choose my colorway for the next one. Remember, guys, I like bright colors. Stick with that. But I'm going to let everybody choose what colorway I'm going to be working on. And it makes me nervous. But, you know, since the next one will be number 12, I figured why not open it up and see what happens.
Yes. So we're going to, I believe, I've heard we're hosting it on the Cotton Cuts website.
Yep.
We're going to post all the colorways, and you can head to our website and vote for which colorway you think Ian should sew for the next mystery.
I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And especially because I won't know what it is until I open that package.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to try hard to like keep it under wraps. It looks like, oh my gosh, they're already excited to pick one for you. And so I know if I was to pick one for you, I would pick something bright, something Andover, something that has some geometric elements to it. I think probably not so great would be really brown florals, or anything that's like 1880s reproduction. Probably no bueno for you.
That is not my jam. Florals are not my jam. Reproduction is not my jam. I like big, bright, bold, and geometric.
Okay. All right. So everyone, you've heard it here. So we're all going to go to the website and we're going to pick the reproduction colorway for Ian.
No.
Wait, that's not what you just said. Did you say something else? All right. Okay. So let's get to it. So you talked in the introduction about how you were very nervous about this quilt and how you didn't like it when you were, which is a surprise to me that you did not like it. But so show us this magnificent creation you've made.
So
here's where, hold on. Before we show, tell your cameraman to go back. All right. So Paula wants me to check in with you. How close were you in the final design there?
Yeah, so I got close. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time. As many people know, I was moving from Texas to North Virginia. I didn't have as much time to sit and kind of mull it over and try to figure out what it looks like. So I took a stab at it. I got pretty close, but unfortunately just didn't quite get a few pieces in the right direction. But I'm still waiting for my ribbon from last time. I think that must have gotten lost in the mail with the Clue 7s.
I'm gonna like punch that over to. I got people for that. Remember with those people? I've got a person for that. She will get on that. Do we actually like get him a like? Maybe we'll get you a little mini trophy.
There you go. There we go. No,
yeah.
I got close on this one, but like I said, if I could have had more time to sit and mull it over, I think I would have gotten it. But I had so much going on trying to pack up an apartment and coordinate movers and all that. I just didn't have the time to sit with it.
Well, so we had a lot of folks that, you you have inspired people to get out their puzzle pieces and actually assemble it before the reveal. I am impressed. I think we had over 20 submissions. I want to say we're gonna put them all in a gallery. And
That's awesome.
I think almost 20 out of 20 had the center tree right. Like they had the center pieces correct. I think where it fell apart for everyone was the borders on the outside. I think the way those kind of flow and the kind of root elements kind of trip people up a little bit. I would say most people got the center piece. It was the outside pieces. So Ian, thank you so much for inspiring people to try that, because that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear that so many people tried it out.
I mean, you're inspiring them to do that, and then we ask them for it, and then they send us an email. It's really easy stuff here. All right, so Ian, show us this quilt that you made.
All right, everybody ready? Here we go. So this is, the wind has taken it a little bit, but here is my tree of life.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
It is super bright, but I really love, once I put the green border on, it really toned it down and made it like, I really like it now. It mellowed it out, because when I was putting it together, the yellows and the oranges were like smacking me in the face. But I love that it toned it down. And it's interesting too, because as everybody's been talking about it, they're like, oh yeah, these are trees. The funny thing is, I actually see this from a tree from the top, and these are the roots coming out from the tree itself.
Back, Paula.
So there you go.
All right, bring it back, Paula. Yes, I'm sorry. No, so whenever we like
okay.
zoom in on you, you can't hear me, and I'm sitting here going, "Bring me back, Paula. Bring me back. Bring me back."
I know. You got quiet for a second, and I'm like, "Oh wait, she's off the screen." That's right. You can't hear her. But yeah, when I was putting it together, it looks like tree roots to me, and it almost looks like you're looking at the tree rings inside.
You are so so it's one of those, like, you have to, and again, it's a quilt, right? So the closer you get, you see different elements.
Woo.
And with yours, the further back you get. And so from yours, I can see the root element to it. And then the orange in the next border, the one we haven't really talked about, feels like it's a deeper root than the yellow that you see, right? It feels like it goes into the quilt with what you've got. Yeah. All right. Gail Lefferts is checking in. So Gail is the one who joined us at the last show because she and her husband guessed it. And she said that John saw it as a tree as well. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Ian, that I am impressed. All right.
Thank you.
So what is next for you? You've moved, you've settled. Give us what's new on your channel, and how can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me on, I sew live every Sunday on YouTube, off Quilter Crafter Ian on YouTube. And then Becca and I have, as you saw at the beginning of today's live stream, Becca and I have started a new endeavor on podcasting. So we have started the Sew Off Quilter podcast that comes out twice a month, and we're getting ready to release our next episode on November 6th. So make sure to check out on YouTube right now, soon to come to other podcasting platforms, the Sew Off Quilter podcast.
Awesome. I love all of that. I listened to you guys' first podcast. It was so much fun. You two have such banter together. It is very enjoyable to watch. You guys balance each other. Yeah, it was awesome. You guys did great. All right. Thank you, Ian. As always, hopefully you left breadcrumbs and can find your way back to the city, and we're not going to be sending out a search party for you.
I maybe a deer might help me find my way back.
Like wrapping the quilt around a deer and like riding into the city. That would be
yeehaw. No, that's Wild West. That's Wild West. We'll do that next time.
Save that one. We're gonna put a pin in that joke and come back to it. All right.
It reminds me of the AI cowboys that I've been putting into the Facebook group.
Yeah, I love it. As always, Ian, it is a pleasure. We will talk soon. Bye.
Thanks.
Ian.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. All right, guys. I am seeing lots of questions that we are going to come back to, but I have 2 more quilts to show you guys. These 2 are extra special quilts. We literally just did for Tree of Life. And so the first one is actually in the Hope colorway. And so Hope is a fabric collection. It's a batik collection that is made to raise money and support for breast cancer awareness. And so we saw these fabrics and we wanted to make sure that we made a Tree of Life quilt in this colorway. This was sewn by multiple members of Team Cotton Cuts, and we put it together. This quilt is going to be given to a friend of mine who does production work for not-for-profits. And so he selected one of his partners. It will be auctioned off to raise money for the not-for-profit to advance breast cancer research. Obviously, a woman-owned company, this is important to us. And so I wanted to share this colorway because of all the ones we've seen today, This one looks so different, and I want you guys to see it. All right, so here is the quilt. It is a large, and what's that? Okay, yeah. So Paula is going to move us over to the handheld camera. All right, and so we have Robin kind of zooming in on us. And so one of the things that when we put this together really stood out to us is different from the others is that it almost looks like a 4-color quilt because the 2 reds and the 2 pinks kind of blend together. So it simplifies the Tree of Life design a lot. And so we put this together. It's in the Hope colorway. It's a beautiful collection of batiks. If Robin's able to get close enough, we can see the words hope and strength and support. And we can see all the ribbons that go in there and all the words that support breast cancer awareness. As we know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Unfortunately, reveals November, but literally these were, super common themes. And so this quilt will be put to good use. All of our team helped put it together, and it's one of those fun community projects for us. It feels good to give back, and it feels good to do good in general. All right. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. All right. That is Hope. And so we will put pictures up. Okay. All right. Then we have our last one. And so this is a quilt that was put together, not by us. Well, we put the final design together. So this is a quilt that was made by 10 different sewing celebrities. And so this is the woodland colorway. And so we're going to have Robin zoom in as well. So we have to do some audio adjustments. Okay. And so the thing that's different about this quilt is it was sewn together by 10 different sewing influencers. The first of which is Pippa Shaw. So Pippa Shaw is actually the designer of this collection. She's a designer at Figo Fabrics. We sent her clue 1 and she sewed it together. She signed it and then sent it back to us. Then we sent it to 9 more people who signed it and sent it back to us as well. And so this quilt has, here's Pippa's name right here. So Pippa signed it right there. And so this quilt has all of their signatures into it. And so each one has been sewing together over the past 9 months. We put it together. This quilt is currently up for auction. And so we are raising money for our Cotton Cuts Cares organization, So Powerful. And so all the proceeds from this are going to be donated to So Powerful. Cotton Cuts always matches that donation, so that way we double the impact. But the winner of the raffle received this quilt, and they will get their choice of how it is long arm quilted, and then they'll get the finished quilt at the end of the day. This is woodland. We haven't seen woodland at all today. This colorway is so popular, so fantastic. And it has, as Robin zoomed in, it has elements of the deer and the woods, but it's got a lot more movement to it than a lot of the other quilts we've seen. Yeah, this one, as Paul is reminding me, this one sold out twice. So I know there's a lot of people hanging out here. I'm seeing comments about, did I miss Tranquil? Did I miss Autumn Shades? Guys, we can't show every colorway because not everyone makes them. But I know if you follow the Cotton Cuts Fabric group, there will be people that will be posting those very, very, very soon. Robin's been hanging out awkwardly on the side with us, just kind of standing in what is a very teeny tiny little alcove right here. So fantastic. Thank you, Robin, for your help with that. Okay. So I feel like the hope and the charity. Okay, I've seen a lot of comments about people asking if we have any kits of the colorways they have just seen. And that answer is yes. So we literally just on the website today put up a very limited number of kits that we can package and send to you of a small and a large. And I think there's 8 colorways. And so it's not all of them because some of them sold out and we're completely out of fabric. So we can't make any more. These fabrics have been out of print for about 10 months. So we can't make more of some of the colorways. But if we can, they are on the website. You better move it, guys, because they're going to go real darn fast. I think of the 8, I think we've seen at least one of them today that are on the website now. So for those of you that have that question, definitely head to the website. If you ordered backing and borders, those are coming to you in the mail. If you missed that, we have fabric on the website now. So definitely jump in. Do not miss out on that. And I think that's it. So yeah, so if you've missed a colorway, head to Cotton Cuts Fabric. There'll be people posting them over the weekend. Join the sew-in tomorrow as well. I'm sure there'll be other people that will have it. I'm sure by now everyone's gotten the email with the finishing instructions, and I'm sure people are sewing while they are watching me. We are going to be talking about Flyway, which is our next puzzle mystery quilt. It's always crazy. We are constantly on this hamster wheel of doing 2 puzzle mystery quilts at a time. And so the theme for our next puzzle mystery quilt is called Flyway. And so Flyway is thematically built around migratory birds, which I know sounds like migratory birds. Like, really? What are we in the Science Channel? No. So the concept is movement and patterns of migration from one environment to another. And so we are going to see that actually in the quilt top, this element of movement. And we isolated it into birds. Originally, we're going to do whales and butterflies and all sorts of crazy things, but we wanted to kind of narrow the theme. I want to be very, very clear, guys. I don't think there's going to be actual birds in this quilt top. This happens every time you announce a theme. People think like it's Wild West. It's all going to be cowboys and cow boots and cowboys and boots. It's been an hour and a half, guys. But it's not going to be like literal birds. It's just a way to organize our thoughts. It's a way to organize kind of the element. This was Tree of Life because it had a little bit of a tree element to it, but it wasn't overtly in your face Tree of Life. It's just, what does the design inspire from a theme perspective? So that way we can name the quilt and name all of your individual colorways. Let's see, people are asking about borders. Yes, those are all on the website. You can go find those for Tree of Life. So Flyway is coming December 6th at 7 a.m. is when signups open. A couple things about it that I've already talked about. So when colorways sell out for Flyway, they're going to sell out. We are at the point where fabric companies are just printing less fabric. And so our ability to go back and get more is becoming really challenging. And so managing wait lists is something that we used to be able to do in a pre kind of 2024 economy, but now we have to keep it tight. So we will be ordering as much as we can the first time. Once they sell out, they are sold out. So please, please, please do not wait to sign up. Make sure you get there early. Also, we are going to be cutting off the prepaid membership. So if you prepay, you get all of your fabric at once in one delivery in one box. We're going to be cutting those off as of Clue 1 shipping in February. So make sure if you want that option, you get in early. I know a lot of people start month to month, realize they like it, and then convert to prepaid. We aren't going to be able to do that going forward. So make sure if you want to prepay, you get in and prepay. Paula is coming over here. I've missed something. Yes, and if you are a Tree of Life detective, you have received a code and a website for early access. So you get to sign up a day early. That's an appreciation for finishing Tree of Life. So you don't have to set your alarm. You can get there a day early. You can sign up without fear of anything selling out. So that is definitely a perk of finishing a mystery. Okay, I feel like, Paul, I've got everything. Okay, I forgot about the sewing tomorrow, guys. It is like 1,000 degrees. Did we mention Ian brought the heat? Like, it is real darn hot. And you put these lights on me and then put warm quilts behind. Okay, all right. So tomorrow we have the Zoom sew in. And so that is going to be from 10 to 2. Get together with your friends. Come to the Zoom sew in. Robin, yes, the fantastic Robin hanging out with me over here is going to be hosting the Zoom sew in. We're giving prizes. So Becca is going to be joining you guys and sewing the fabric that she did not like together. And we will see. And hopefully by the end, she loves it because that is a fantastic. So hopefully she's seen her today and is motivated to finish it. All right, gang. Is that everything? Okay. All right. Now we got to go get ready for Wild West and Flyway. All right. I think that's everything, guys. As always, I appreciate all of your support. Without you guys, we don't get to do things like this. We don't get to put pretty things out into the world. We don't get to make fabric creations and inspire people and get people who might not be able to sew back to sewing, or people who have never sewed sewing. So without you guys and your incredible support, we don't get to do what we do. And we love it. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of our ambassadors. I appreciate all of my employees who consider like the highest standards when they're putting out this product. Our complaint rate is so low, you guys, and I just love everything they do. And I appreciate Sheila and all of her creative genius to help us keep going. And so with that, all right, I think we're all done, guys. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. We will be in touch in the next couple of weeks. Join us live on Thursday. We're going to talk about the mini mystery, and then we get to talk a whole bunch about Flyway. All right, I think that's it for me, everyone. Happy sewing, and we will see you next time. Bye now. And cut. Thank you so much for watching our video. We have so much fun making these, and we hope that you were both delighted and inspired by what you just watched. This This video was sponsored by Cotton Cuts. Cotton Cuts is your one stop for all the best fabric and thread memberships. Love fabric? We've got you covered. Love thread? We've got you covered. We get that no two quilters are cut from the same cloth, which is why our memberships are as unique as you. We also have the largest block of the month in the world. Over 4,000 detectives solve our puzzle mystery quilts every year, and you can join them. Simply go to cottoncuts.com to learn more about all the awesome and fun things that we're doing. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to make sure you get all of our new fresh content every time it comes out. Thank you so much. Happy sewing enthusiasts, and we will see you soon. Bye now.